General. Today he is in 01. Tomorrow I don't know whether he will be in 09. And here I will refer to you as the way we call ourselves. Dr. I.A. Yakasai, MNI, the President, West African College of Surgeons, a Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology, and also he is the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Health Sciences. Tiafe? Yes, you are welcome, sir. I also want to welcome Professor F.O. Ugumba, the Secretary General, West Africa College of Surgeons. He's a Professor of Neurological Surgery, University of Nigeria. Thank you, you are welcome, sir. I think we're in the same boat. And this is a big one. We're happy to have you in our midst, sir. I will still refer to you in our traditional way. Dr. Pius Agbenoku is the Vice President, Division of Surgeons and Division of Surgeons of Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. You are welcome, sir. He's a Professor of Plastic Surgery. And also in our midst today, we have our royal fathers. We are very glad to have you in our midst. I say Kabiyesi, and that is in person of His Royal Majesty Oba Galib Rufai, the Olojo of Ojo. You are welcome, sir. And also in our midst, we have a High Chief. When you say High Chief, that's High Chief. We have High Chief Olumide Erile, the traditional head of the Erawuri Kingdom, Erawuri land. You are welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Also in our midst, we have Professor Abba Omotunde Sago, a consultant hematologist, the former secretary to the state government, and former provost Lasukom, and also the foundation. He actually started the award for the best candidate in hematology and GBT fluids. Thank you for coming, ma. And also in our midst, my friend, the CMD of the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba Left, Lagos, Dr. Olubinga Oweye. You are welcome, sir. Thank you very, very much for coming. And now we go to the next aspect on our program. And Mr. President, sir, I would like to invite the representative of the coordinating minister. In fact, he's wearing 4 caps. The representative of the coordinating minister for Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, and also the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Salako, and also the permanent secretary, Ministry of Health, Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Daju Kachalom. He is Dr. Jimon Salaudin, MNI, the Director of Hospitals Services, Federal Ministry of Health, Abuja, for the speech of the minister. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Before I deliver the minister's speech, I first want to tender their apology. Both the minister, that's the coordinating minister, the Minister of State and Parliament Secretary, they are presently in UNGA, that is United Nations General Assembly, for the betterment of the country. And that is the reason why you do not see any of them. And as he earlier been mentioned, I stand in for my principals. Thank you for welcoming me. Secondly, I want to appreciate Mr. President, along with members of the college, for according me the respect and honor that my minister deserves. I quite appreciate how we pass the message down to them, how well I've been treated. Thank you very much. Then again, please permit me to follow due process in terms of protocol. I will try because it's part of what is expected of the ministry. So, Mr. President of the college, sir, the principal officers of National Provincial Medical College, members of the governing board and senate of National Provincial Medical College of Nigeria, the past president of the college, the chairman, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, president, Nigerian Medical Association, president, Medical and Dental Consultant Association of Nigeria, executive secretary, National University Commission, the vice chancellors here present, the chief medical directors of teaching hospitals here present, the medical directors of all federal medical centers and specialist hospitals in Nigeria, provost and dean of medical colleges and faculties, distinguished fellows, fellows and honorary fellows of the college, the president or representative of Sister Postgraduate Medical and Surgical College, I will specifically recognized by distinguished and most distinguished who has been sacrificing for the nation in all ways. Professor I.A. Yakasa, MNI. I bow, sir. The president of NAD, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, our royal fathers here present, thank you for gracing today's occasion. Today's convokees, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Like it's been mentioned, I am to deliver the speech of my principals. Wherever you hear the word I, it is not Salahuddin. It stands in for my principals. It is with great honor and delight that I stand before you today as the special guest of honor at this 43rd Convocation ceremony of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. This occasion is not only a celebration of academic excellence, but also a reaffirmation of the vital role of postgraduate medical education in strengthening Nigeria's health system and shaping the future of healthcare delivery in Nigeria. To our graduates, I congratulate you most warmly. Today is the harvest of years of sacrifice, diligence, and perseverance. Your journey was not without challenges, but your resilience, your focus, and faith have brought you to this defining moment. You embody the spirit of commitment that our health sector desperately needs. Permit me to commend the National Provincial Medical College of Nigeria for its unbroken consistency in pursuing excellence over the past 4 decades. From a humble beginning 42 years ago, the college has grown into the flagship of postgraduate medical education in our nation, setting standards, accrediting training institutions, and producing generations of medical and dental specialists who continue to shape the face of healthcare delivery in Nigeria. The foresight of the founding fathers and the dedication of successful leadership have brought the college to this enviable height. Indeed, we all owe them a debt of gratitude. As you are aware, the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare is focused on implementing 4-point agenda of Mr. President's renewable agenda on health. A critical component of this agenda is strengthening our human resources for health. Infrastructure, service delivery, research, and funding are all important. However, without a strong and a well-trained workforce, no health system can thrive. This makes the role of National Postgraduate Medical College indispensable. Your graduates remain the backbone of our specialist healthcare services across all geopolitical zones of the country. I am also not unaware of the challenges facing the college. May I assure you that the ministry is committed to continuous engagement with the college to address its pressing needs. Some of the critical issues we are actively considering include special funding to accelerate training of specialists and mitigate the impact of brain drain. Access to TED Fund as the apex postgraduate medical education institution in Nigeria. Support for endowment fundraising, especially for simulation equipment and capacity building. Increased budgetary allocation for residency training and expansion of college activities across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Approval of waivers requests to recruit fellows as deputy and assistant registrar for effective residency training. Completion of infrastructure projects at the college headquarters in Janiki, Lagos here, including the Senate building and National Clinical Skill and Simulation Center. Acquisition of Abuja office for the college to enhance its national presence. Dedicated funding for health research and acquisition of modern simulation equipment. While the list is extensive, let me reassure you that a prioritized and phased approach is being adopted to ensure tangible progress. Today, we celebrate graduates across different categories, fellows by examination from 16 faculties of the college, postgraduate MD awardees, postgraduate diploma recipients, and the distinguished fellow awardee, namely Dr. Sebastian Ndule-Wosu, Dr. Dili Dogo, Dr. Chukwuemeka Eze Anolue, Dr. Fatiu Abiola Arugundade. You have all distinguished yourselves through hard work, sacrifice, and excellence. Your achievements are a testament not just to your academic ability, but to your resilience, perseverance, and commitment to service. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by reiterating that the future of healthcare in Nigeria rests significantly on the shoulders of our specialists. The ministry, under the Renewed Hope agenda, will continue to strengthen collaboration with the college to ensure that our health system becomes more resilient, more responsive, and more people-centered. To the graduates, go forth with confidence, be worthy ambassador of the college and of Nigeria. Let your expertise and compassion be a blessing to humanity within and beyond the shore of this nation. On behalf of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, I once again congratulate all graduates, their families, the college, and indeed the entire health sector in this momentous occasion. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Mr. President, sir, just as the Honorable Minister, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Health was delivering his address, we have one of our own past president, elder scholar, a professor of nephrology, Dr. Borodo, FMCP, DFMC. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir. All the way from Kano. Thank you. Now we have the goodwill messages from our sister colleges. First of all, I want to call on the President, West African College of Surgeons, Dr. Yakasai, to give his goodwill message.
Minister of Health and Social Welfare, ably represented by the Director, Hospital Services, our OMNI, the President of West Africa, Ajawaya, the President of the Postgraduate Medical College, President of Sister Colleges. The list is very long, and I'm sure you'll permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I will bring you one felicitation from the West African College of Surgeons, the fellows, members, diplomats, to this 43rd Convocation of the National Postgraduate Medical College. Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria and West African College of Surgeons, I think we have been training and cooperating in delivering our mandate. And I'm sure most fellows, including myself, have got the qualification of those colleges. And I believe the graduates today, some of them will go on to complete the residency program in West Africa, or even be exempted from the primary to start the postgraduate training in the West African College of Surgeons. Permit me to say what you have been able to obtain today is a commendable leadership under the President's leadership of the National Postgraduate Medical College that allowed to have this mass training across Nigeria and therefore across other sub-regions. And therefore the task ahead is not only academic excellence and professional excellence. I'm sure you will be working hard throughout the West African sub-region in order to stem the tide of the Jaffa syndrome. And I believe what you have acquired today is a task and a continual leadership training for a very long time to come. And we hope that we will build on what the elders have taught us much earlier. And I still remember in 1979, when the postgraduate medical college started, the examinations were usually rotated, and they were in fact 4 in 1981, one was held in Zaria. And therefore, not that we are doing for that, but I want to say it has come a long way, and now you can go to obtain MD, PhD, and the other academic excellence. Therefore, on behalf of the West African College of Surgeons, I congratulate the graduates and also the leadership of the National Postgraduate Medical College. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. President, I want to also invite upstage Dr. Pius Agbonaku, the Vice President, Division of Surgeons of Ghana College of Physicians and Surgery.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm speaking on the already established protocol. As you already know, my name is Pius Agbonaku. I'm the Vice President for Division of Surgeons of the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. As you see the name, hear the name, our college is distinctly divided into 2 sections, physicians and surgeons. You have one president and a vice president each for the physicians, of course, and another one for surgeons. And I'm the vice president for surgeons, division of surgeons. Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, graduates, proud parents, and esteemed guests. It is a great honor to join you at the 43rd Convocation ceremony of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. On behalf of the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, I extend heartfelt congratulations to the college, the graduating fellows, and to all who made this day possible. Since the establishment of our college, the year 2003, the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons has steadily advanced postgraduate medical training, and strengthened specialist practice in Ghana. We believe that together with your college, our two colleges can continue to build a strong sub-regional front in medical education, research, and patient care. Patient care is well underlined because that is our ultimate. To have a patient care policy that will be excellent, not second, but first. I commend the leadership of your noble institution for nurturing such exceptional doctors as we see today. Today's ceremony is proof of your commitment, Mr. President. To the graduates, this is not just a celebration, but a call to higher service. May this achievement open doors of opportunity and inspire you to pursue excellence. Mr. President, congratulations once again on this milestone. We celebrate with the graduating fellows as they take their place in service to humanity. May God bless the work of our two institutions. And let us remember, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. I'll say that again. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So you want a future, a good one today, the time to prepare. I thank you sincerely for your attention. Thank you very much.
College President, sir, I need to correct myself. I think my friend Fatu Arugudadi actually got into my brain. I see everybody as nephrologist. Professor Borodo is a professor of gastroenterology. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir, once again. Next, we have the goodwill message from the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons, and that will be read by our Deputy Registrar, Academics, Dr. S.S. Suli, the only SS, authentic SS.
Thank you, sir. College Registrar, College President, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Health, principal officers, past president, let me stand on the existing protocol that has been well established to give the goodwill message from the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons. Warmest greetings from the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons. On behalf of the President, Professor John K. Moba, we are pleased to extend their heartfelt goodwill to the college and esteemed leadership of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. On behalf of the Council, the Coordinating Board, and the entire fellowship of the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons, LCPS, it is with great pleasure and profound respect that we extend their warmest greetings to the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. We are indeed privileged to form part of all this important discourse on the occasion marking the 43rd Hybrid Convocation ceremony of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, particularly in the capacity as the President of the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons. It brings you fraternal greetings from the Executive Board and the Postgraduate Medical Council of their college, with LCPS still being one of the youngest colleges in the region, that's in the West African sub-region. We are proud to announce that we have made immense stride with our postgraduate training program, which has to date 153 specialists, and has since inaugurated a fellowship program. I want to personally congratulate faculties from our sister colleges in the sub-region, particularly the National Postgraduate College of Nigeria, for partnering with us in achieving this great feat that has greatly impacted and advanced medical care in our country. The Liberia College of Physicians and Surgeons therefore wishes you a fruitful deliberation during your 43rd hybrid convocation ceremony, wishes you great outcomes and recommendations in favor of medical practice in West African sub-region and beyond. Once more, congratulations in your special occasion, and I thank you kindly for this opportunity. Professor J.K. Morba, President, Liberia College of Physicians and Surgeons. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Police band, please give us music. Thank you, College President, sir. And I invite the Faculty Secretary, Faculty of Internal Medicine, in person of Dr. K.W. Wahab, to read the citation of the convocation lecturer.
The Honorable Minister, the President of the College, please permit me to adopt the already established protocol. And I seek your permission too to request that my teacher, Professor Solomon Kadiri, should stand up as I read his citation. Thank you, sir. I need the permission because the person standing before you is an academic giant. And I feel so humbled and privileged to be requested to come and read his citation. So he's presenting today's convocation lecture. So standing before you is Professor Solomon Kadiri. He was a professor of medicine at the University of Ibadan and consultant physician and nephrologist to the University College Hospital Ibadan, Nigeria, up until his retirement about 2 years ago. That was June 2023. He has studied medicine at the University of Ibadan, where he graduated in 1977. That's like 48 years ago. And he holds the fellowships of the Medical College in 1985, West African College of Physicians in 1981, and the Royal College of Physicians of London, and the degree of MD. Professional and academic fellowships include Fellowship of NAN, Fellowship of the International Society of Hypertension, Fellowship of the Academy of Medical Specialties, and the Fellowship of the Nigerian Academy of Medicine. His research interests include the kidney and hypertension and acute kidney injury, and he has collaborated in local and international studies, published with others locally and internationally, and supervised numerous dissertations through residency training. Over the years, and especially in his roles as head of medicine, University of Ibadan, between 2003 and 2006, chief examiner in internal medicine at the West African College of Physicians between 2003 and 2006, chair of nephrology subspecialties at the National Postgraduate Medical College and the West African College of Physicians, director of training of the West African College of Physicians, subdean, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, College of Medicine, curriculum chair, and member, WACP, and Royal College of Physicians of London Education Steering Committee. He has been closely involved in the training of doctors in nephrology, hypertension, and general medicine at different levels. With the later development of interest in medical education, he co-chaired the Faculty of Internal Medicine Court of Judges meeting in the early years, assisting with standard setting and examination question reforms. In related endeavors, he has acted as temporary advisor to the WHO and member of the WHO ISH Guidelines Group between 2001 and 2003, chairman of Guidelines Committee of Nigerian Hypertension Society and the Nigerian Association of Nephrology, which produced guidelines for the management of hypertension and chronic kidney disease, respectively. As a member of the African Regional Advisory Group of the ISH, he participated in hypertension training and the formulation of programs in Africa. He has acted as consultant to a number of bodies and organizations in matters relating to hypertension and chronic kidney disease. In other areas, he has been a reviewer for many journals, examiner and assessor to universities and bodies within and outside Nigeria, member of accreditation panels, and invited speaker to meetings within and outside the country. In addition to his numerous other lectures to specialty groups and the public, in 2005, he was the manual lecturer, and in 2009, the Mabayoje lecturer at meetings of the WACP, and faculty day lecturer at the Owerri National Postgraduate Medical College Conference, among others. He's a member of the Board of Trustees of the Nigerian Association of Nephrology and of the Nigerian Hypertension Society. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Professor Solomon Kadiri, MD, FRCP, FWACP, FMCP, as he presents today's convocation lecture. Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, distinguished guests, convoking specialists, ladies and gentlemen, I must thank the faculty chairman for nominating me to give this lecture, and thank the college president and the college for accepting the nomination. And of course, it's a big day for the convoking doctors. Also, extend my congratulations to them. And indeed, when I looked up the likely topics for a convocation lecture, it seemed to me that the convoking doctors should form the central point, the essence of the lecture. Hence, the topic. Sounds like, the topic actually sounds like the title of a novel, maybe because I like a pandemic, examinations, and a degree. And I think as I go on, the title will become, it's actually self-explicit, but as I go on, it will become clearer to people. I have thought about many other lectures, and even today, a few speakers had made mention of the Jacques syndrome. I had thought of including that somewhere, but I settled for this, because this lecture would satisfy three aspects of the life of a resident doctor, around which this lecture is built, particularly the life of a resident doctor, a trainee doctor in the last decade. So we're talking about the pandemic, which many of us have experienced, not necessarily have had the disease, maybe have had to treat patients or relations who had the condition. Condition isn't gone, it's very much around. We'll talk about aspects of medical education, so that's another aspect in which in the last 10 years in the college, National College, a lot of time has been spent in trying to modernize the teaching methods, particularly the curriculum, assessment methods, and certain questions. We think we know how to set questions. In actual fact, not many people set good questions. So I have thought about all of these. And in the last 4 to 5 years, with the introduction of the MD degree by the National College, something we should all be very thankful for. And as part of this lecture, I would advise the convoking doctors and incoming residents to try and get on board and benefit from the introduction of the lecture, or introduction of the MD degree. So over the past 10 years, what have been the problems? I've enumerated the major problems. I've also mentioned what I felt, what I feel that all doctors who have practiced in the last 10 years would have encountered in one way or the other, and that is the COVID. So it's limited to that period. It affected training. This event I'm going to talk about would either have affected training positively or negatively. COVID, negatively. Some would see some good out of it. If you believe in the saying that out of adversity comes opportunities, there have been some opportunities from COVID. So not totally or completely negative. I've also considered that we would have a varied audience today. Not everyone here is a doctor. Not everyone here. Of the doctors, not everyone is a specialist. So it's going to be like a broad exposition. And it was stipulated in the letter inviting me that the lecture should be given in 30 minutes. That was difficult, but I've managed, and I think I would work towards 30 minutes. I think I would succeed. So COVID, That'll be one. Then examination review, standard setting, and then setting of exam questions. I'll talk about that. Because all residents who have passed through the college in the last decade, particularly in the last 5 years or so, would have been affected one way or the other by what I'm going to talk about. And everybody, I believe, should aspire to the MD degree. Now, the COVID-19 was first described in 2019. Supposed to have originated in China. The origins are unclear. Nobody knows how it came about. Nobody knows for certain. Or maybe some people know have not revealed, but there are lots of conspiracy theories. Anyway, in 2019, first patient was described. That was from China. It spread rapidly. Spread faster in some areas than in some other areas. Such that a year and a half after the first case was described, up to 117 million cases had been described worldwide, with 2.6 million deaths. And we can all imagine that was quite a severe condition. And that was data from the Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Research Center. Now, what about Nigeria? The first case was described in February 2020 in Lagos. And at that time, it seemed that it was spreading very slowly. There were not too many people who were reported with COVID, perhaps because testing and detection was low, maybe, or maybe not many people were having it. However, in 4 years, that was from 2020 to 2024, just about 270,000 cases had been confirmed in Nigeria and 3,000 deaths, which, sorry to say, welcome news, considering that in other parts of the world, the mortality was much higher than that. Let's take this. After 1 year, figures show that Nigeria was the 5th most heavily affected nation in Africa, 77th globally. Compare that to the fact that globally, in terms of population, Nigeria ranks 6th. So clearly, you would see that we appear to have been spared. The reasons not completely clarified. So these graphs just show the rise in COVID from 2020 to roughly around 2022. And after that, the figures flattened. Again, many possible reasons. Maybe not many cases were reported, maybe not many cases were tested, or maybe the infection just petered out in Nigerians. There's a saying that people in Africa and some parts of the world were relatively protected. That might be so. So also, the total deaths on the right, the figures flattened out. And indeed, there are many people you talk to today, and you talk to them about COVID, they say, oh, the condition is gone, the disease is gone. Some never even believed that it was a problem in Nigeria. And these figures would strengthen the belief in those people. But the opposite is the truth. The condition is still very much around. More severely so in some places than in some others. So we're quite familiar with the clinical features. Generally, it's a mild disease, mild in most people. It tends to become severe in people who are elderly, people with debilitating illness, chronic medical conditions, immunosuppressed individuals. But generally, it's a mild conditions. Many people, it is said that up to 80% of people will have COVID and not even notice. Some will even test positive with no symptoms whatsoever. In a few people, relatively, there are severe complications and indeed death. There are all forms of treatment. Earlier on, there was no specific therapy, but mostly supportive therapy. And in many cases also, the hope that the disease did not get worse. Later on, vaccination was introduced. that helped. But that was limited by high costs, and so the developing world was not that well covered by vaccinations. We talk about the images and icons of COVID, the mask, distancing, isolation. When you see that, what comes to mind is COVID. Somebody was describing in a phone call he had with a friend in Europe, and the friend told them that he hadn't been out of his house in 5 days, 6 days. And each time he looked out of the window, there was hardly anyone on the street. A street which at other times, like in the past, before the COVID thing, at any time you looked out during the day, you were bound to see maybe 20, 30 or 40 people walking around. So these are the images: distancing, masks. The mask was particularly a problem. Then not many people liked it, not many at all. People found it very inconvenient, but they had to. So what were the difficulties encountered in the COVID thing? Inadequate testing, as I've mentioned. Public distrust and skepticism. Some people still didn't believe that there was COVID. Inadequate isolation facilities. We saw in the news when many state governments, particularly Lagos state government, built some isolation facilities, and this was well publicized. Then later on, the federal government took it up, and other states also joined. But by and large, they were not that adequate. And we're happy to say that maybe because we didn't have too many cases, that deficiency did not manifest readily. Equipment inadequacies, respirators, dialysis. Some units, my unit benefited from this. The Oyo State government installed a dialysis machine specifically for COVID patients. But I don't think there was any COVID patients who required it all the time. So in a way, some people may have gained some equipment as a result of the COVID. Then we talk about when medications became available in other parts of the world. Some people got them in here, but they were quite expensive. Paxlovid, Agevriol, very expensive medications. They were antiviral medications, but again, we managed and we got through it. So the impact on medical practice, which really is the crux of the matter here, there are negative impacts and positive impacts. Let me start with the positive before I go on to the negative. There was increased responsibility of doctors and interdependency, because it was realized that one man's mistake could cause a problem in the ward or in the unit. So people were more responsible, and so that was good. People depended on one another, so that's the interdependency. That also was good. Then the growth of online, hybrid, remote processes, online lectures, hybrid lectures. Indeed, people started thinking about online exams, and there were some candidates examined online. So that was good. So technology, in a way, was promoted. Self-rediscovering. Many people mentioned that. I haven't been out in a week. I don't think I've lost anything. So people actually rediscover themselves. And people could make do with things they thought they wouldn't be able to survive without. So again, that was a good point. And then keeping the distance. You really do not need to move too close to someone when you're speaking with him. So you keep a distance, which is good. And frequent hand washing. It is stipulated that if you examine a patient, say on the ward round, and you move it on to another patient, you should disinfect. You should clean your hands. But I don't think that was happening before the COVID. There was the introduction of, or with the promotion of frequent hand washing. Many doctors now have assumed that a patient should not be seen unless the doctor has disinfected, cleaned his hands. So those are the positives. Then there are some negatives. Isolation and forced holidays. You don't want to go on holiday, but you are made to go on holiday. That's a negative. There were disruptions in medical practice, rescheduling of examinations and tests, maybe end of posting, or sometimes major exams. Maybe I think one fellowship exam had been skipped because of COVID. Low patient attendance in clinic. And then from the doctor's selfish point of view, you want your patients to come, and the resident doctor's point is you want patients to come to the clinic because you're collecting patients for the part 2, or because you want to be exposed to many patients and gain clinical skills. But with the isolations and shutdowns, there was a low patient attendance. You were required to have collected so and so procedures before you could register for the exam. But because of the low patients, you couldn't do that, and so many things were delayed. Research was interrupted. Patients just couldn't come to the hospital, patients couldn't come to the clinic because of either the hospital was partly shut down or there was isolation and shutdown in town. Medical doctors, nurses, were disproportionately affected, even though on the whole, you wouldn't say that the load in Nigeria was heavy, but medical personnel were disproportionately affected. So the issue of hazard allowance came up. Not just doctors, but people who work in hospitals, because they too were in a way exposed to this. So issue of hazard came up. And I think there was some success along the line when the government paid some hazard. But General is continuing with that. The inability to import medicines and medical equipment, that was an issue. Certain medicines became very expensive because they were not coming in. And indeed, this limited social interaction. Somebody wants to complain, some more people have complained, okay, we are having online meetings, we are having a conference online. Whereas if we had met, there would have been snacks, there would have been lunch, provided by the organizers, but with online, those things are out of it, and it's so easy for people to overlook and not make any donations towards that. So as we can see, the COVID thing would have impacted positively and negatively on doctors, particularly doctors who are training. The problem did not end there. Of more direct relevance is that there are sequelae to COVID. Sometimes you do not see them because they could be very subtle. And because testing has dramatically reduced, you may never get to know that it is still a problem. So there is long COVID in which patients may have fatigue, dyspnea, depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, cardiomyopathy, myocarditis, heart failure, pulmonary fibrosis, polyneuropathy, encephalitis, and kidney disease. So indeed, in your practice, you may actually come across patients who have signs of long COVID. We shouldn't think that these are far-fetched. I personally know of people, I know of someone who passed on from extensive pulmonary fibrosis, which complicated a COVID infection. And not somebody who's got a median nerve injury. So the problem is still there. And then something which we may not be confronted with now, but perhaps in many years to come, epigenetic changes. The COVID virus damages DNA. And as you very well know, the effect may not manifest in decades. Not too long ago, just a few days ago, last week, this evokes memories of flu virus. There was a news, a child in California who had passed on from measles, which he had, one of the children who were not vaccinated at that time. So had measles as a child. And in his school days, in his school years, he developed subacute sclerosing pan encephalitis. So like a slow virus and other things, cruel and all that. So there's a fear that COVID would fall in that because it's known to cause DNA damage. And these effects are more noticeable in the low socioeconomic group. Then for governments and large institutions, there's a slow economic recovery. These are more seen in the low and middle income countries of the world. There's a very slow recovery from the adversity that was imposed by the COVID pandemic. This may not be a problem in Nigeria, but it is a problem in some parts of the world, distrust of government and institutions. Some people feel that they've been made to go through a lot that was not necessary. Was all that isolation and distancing necessary? Perhaps not. Some people believe that the government knew that those were not necessary. The government knew that not so much isolation was needed, but perhaps because it suited them and it relieved them from responsibilities, they actually promoted it. So that is there. Issues, even up to last week, there were issues in the UK where some people taking the government up, they believe they had been misled as to the seriousness of the epidemic. So these are the sequelae that could complicate COVID. So just remarks about COVID, just like summarizing the things about COVID. COVID remains prevalent. There's reduced violence, maybe. There may be also increasing herd immunity. These are things we would expect. We shouldn't be surprised by these. But I think the most important point here is that doctors should be aware, should be prepared, that they could meet patients with sequelae of COVID in their practice. And over a very long time, there could be genetic changes arising from previous COVID infections. I'll just say one or two things about previous epidemics we've had in Nigeria. Two come to mind because of the scope, because they were large. There have been many others. There have been cholera, there have been other SARS. Those were comparatively small conditions. 50 to 80% of then 18 million Nigerians had the flu 1918 through 1919 pandemic. The infection was introduced through the ports, and there were approximately 500,000 deaths nationwide. At that time, the Nigerian population was estimated at 18 million. Then there was some long-standing sequelae, not much. And then more recently, in 1999, there was the Apollo conjunctivitis. Coincided with moon landing, hence the appellation Apollo, although it had nothing to do with the moon landing. And indeed, it had started even before the moon launch. Up to 30% in some places. I think I had it when I was in secondary school. It was generally mild. In a few people, very few, there were cases of blindness and neuropathy, but very few. So that's in contrast to the COVID, which was very, very widely impacting. Then we'll go on to the other aspect, which has to do with medical education. To be an effective 21st century teacher, a teacher must first possess the very same 21st century skills that their students are expected to have. It's very important. So the college in the last decade has put so much effort into medical education. They've strengthened the curriculum, they've improved the quality of examinations, and also the integrity of assessment at standard setting. Around 2015, in the Faculty of Internal Medicine, through the efforts of one of our past chairmen, Professor Dr. Oborili, who started this, introduced this to the faculty, and I think adopted by the college thereafter. So we must know that there are qualities of a good assessment: fair, balanced, objective, and transparent. These are all required. And an assessment should be discriminative. An assessment should tell a candidate, should put a candidate who's well prepared for the exam, who is competent, apart from a candidate who is not competent. If an assessment does not do that, then it is not a valid assessment. It should be transparent. Everybody should know what is happening. It should be objective, so that what is tested is what is said to be tested. It should be balanced and should be fair. You should cover the broad spectrum of the subject. Hence, it's important to have blueprinting. We won't go into any details here. And you should test different levels of learning, not just recall. You want to know whether a candidate can apply knowledge, can synthesize, can evaluate. Then I put this to the audience. When you set questions, the questions should meet certain criteria. Which of the following is not effective in reducing blood pressure? You come across this kind of question very commonly in exams. So which of the following is not effective in reducing blood pressure? Now, just to say that this is not a good question. Not many people might know this. The residents themselves may not know. You may have come across a question like this. One, which of the following is not effective in reducing blood pressure? Now, there are so many medications that are not effective in reducing blood pressure. So at that stage, you do not know the answer. You cannot know the answer. You need to look at these options before you can answer that question. That is one problem. And so generally, when you have a question that is negatively phrased, which of the following is not, you should beware. And examiners are told, as much as told, to avoid such questions. Then there's another question. The largest organ in the human body is the brain, liver, skin, small intestine, large intestine. This is a good question. When you read that, the largest organ in the human body is the, you can be asked another way, which is the largest organ in the human body? That's another way of asking the question. Which is the largest organ in the human body? If you know it, the answer comes directly to your mind. So you go to the options and then you look for that option and then you tick it. That is the way it should be for a multiple choice question. So these are the kind of things that went on during the courses organized by the college during this period I'm talking about. So we'll come to standard setting, which refers to setting a cut mark, usually a pass mark. But it need not be a pass mark. It could be a pass mark for a distinction. It could be a pass mark for a prize. But for the purpose of the college is you want to know whether you passed the primary or you passed the part 1 or you passed the part 2. So when we talk about standard setting, oftentimes they're talking about setting the pass mark. There's a need for it. Now, why do you need a pass mark? I think if I would quote my chairman, I think she had attended a meeting in North America, and they were discussing, and she said that in my university, the pass mark is 50%. And then somebody has a question, 50% of what? Because to them, really, it didn't make sense that a pass mark need not be 50%. And I think in the last 5 years or so, that has been the practice in the college. So the rest, the convoking doctors would know that even if they have passed, but they have passed not necessarily because they had exceeded 50%. The pass mark could have been 45, could have been 42, could have been 58, could have been 70. Unlikely though. But the pass mark did not have to be 50%, and that has been the practice for some years now in the college. You will find on the prospectus or somewhere that the pass mark for this exam is 50%. But in actually setting that pass mark, it may not be 50. But then to satisfy the requirements in the prospectus, you do what is called scaling. Say you set the pass mark at 56 through validated processes. But when you're recording it, you could then scale it down to 50, meaning that 50, somebody who scored 50 could probably be scaled down to 40-something. So that is what is happening, and that is what has been happening. And it has got a firm basis in the medical literature. In many places of the world, you would need to explain how the pass mark was arrived at. And I'm glad that the college has joined in that. Now, a pass mark can be set before or after the exam has been taken. Indeed, in our faculty, we sometimes meet maybe 2-3 months before the exam, go through the questions, review the questions, and then set a pass mark, even before the candidates are taking the exam. That's only applicable to MCQs and some other aspects. For some other aspects of the exam needs to have been taken before a pass mark can be set. So commonly used methods, we go fast so we can end. Absolute standards, criterion referencing. Let's just mention them. Angoff method, which the college has adopted for setting a pass mark for MCQs. Angoff method. So the pass mark can be set before the exam is taken. So absolute standard, meaning that the examiners, you must have heard we talk about Court of Judges, the examiners would have sat and decided that the pass mark for this would be 57%. So it's there, it's there. That is absolute, meaning that that pass mark has been arrived at based on what the examiners think about the exam that has been set and what they think an average or borderline candidate should be able to do. So it's absolute, and there's something good about it. If a candidate is said to have passed an exam based on absolute standard, then that candidate can say that I know what I have been expected to know. The other methods are relative methods, relative standard, in which a candidate is judged amongst his peers. So as long as the candidate is not too far from the average, the candidate will pass. The problem with that is that you do not know whether you have actually met what is required for somebody at that level. All can be said is that amongst your peers, you haven't done too badly. Now, there are pluses and minuses for each of these, but just for the convoking doctors to know that all of this has happened. And a lot is required. It's time-consuming, and for one of the relative methods, at the end of the exam, the people taking charge of the exam will have to construct a number of graphs. You wouldn't know this. The results might be posted that this have satisfied the examiners, but we wouldn't know what had gone on behind. So we must give, at this point, we must give credit to those who conduct OSCE exams and actually set pass marks. It is time consuming and that. So standard setting is a desirable thing, and I'm happy to note that many of the convoking doctors have been tested in this. Some publications have been made by college staff, by Ekekeze, by Charles Eromosele, and in our faculty by Isezwo, evaluating the results of standard setting. And really, we must say we're in the infancy. We just have the rudiments of standard setting. There are far more sophisticated methods, but then the results have been then the MD, which we think doctors should take. It's an added qualification, so it gives a competitive edge for very little extra. It's the same dissertation. You take the dissertation exam before the other parts of the fellowship, but it is an extra qualification. So indeed, we implore that resident doctors tell the others, resident doctors, and even after convoking, you could register for the MD. It's an extra degree for the work you had done to pass the fellowship. You pay just a little more as fees like that, and then until the time of, I didn't realize it was going to take so much time. So thank you very much for listening. And again, congratulations to the convoking doctors.
Mr. President, sir, thank you very much for the wonderful lecture. And I want to call on the President of the College, Dr. Peter Idebe, to give you your award.
Sorry, when I saw Professor Kadiri and he said he was giving 15 minutes to 20 minutes, my heart sank. Because I knew that he would not finish introducing the topic in 15 to 20 minutes. I am sure people will have opportunity to listen to you. Even if it's a physician, some people have spent more time on medical education, for which we are proud to have him. It's among those that have played a major role in the transformation, of our examination processes in the past 10 years. I've listened to him severally, and in particularly all the faculties, where you see this is talking about at the primary levels, at the part 1 level. So those issue of arbitrary 50%, we don't do it. Every question, is carefully applying internationally accepted standards to determine it. So if you pass, you pass. All of you here passed, Abi? If you didn't pass, you wouldn't be here. So clap for yourselves. So on behalf of the college, it's always an honor to listen to you, sir. We honored him last year in Port Harcourt. On behalf of the college, I want to thank you for this wonderful lecture. Do you have the PowerPoint of it? Thank you. So please, we'll try and send it to everybody so that the ones you couldn't talk about, they can look through it. Sorry. So it's to present on behalf of everybody here and the staff, fellows of the college, to present this award to you for your meritorious service, to the college. Thank you very much, sir.
Another round of applause for him. Before we go to the next item, just quick introduction. In our midst, we have the past treasurer of this college, in person of Professor Akin Ladende. Now I want to do a big one. We have in our midst His Royal Majesty, Kabiyesi, a honorary fellow of our college, Oba Muhammadu Asafa, the Onijanikin of Ijanikin. Kabiyesi, you are welcome, sir. And he's here with his chiefs, Chief Abogu, Chief Oscar, Chief Sani, Mrs. Sani, Chief Olatunde, and Chief Mrs. Aramide. You are welcome, sirs and ma'ams. Sorry, because of time, we might not do a comprehensive introduction. Also in our midst, we have a representative of the Emir of Zazzau, Kaduna in our midst. Is represented by Masun Zazzau, Oba Alhaji Salisu Adamu Muhammad. You are welcome, sir. Also in our midst, we have some of the principal officers of Nile University. They followed their Vice Chancellor, Professor Dilidogo here, and that is Professor Sahid Abdullahi, DVC Academics. Where are you for recognition? Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, you have your seats here anyway. And then we also have Professor Kiru Bakran, DVC Admin. Thank you very much, you are welcome. But also we also have the bursar and the librarian of that university here. Thank you very much. And then also we have some of the principal officers of FUMSA Abeokuta University here. The bursar is around. Where are you, ma? Okay, please, your seat is somewhere here. I don't know other people that are here with you, but I learned that the principal officers are here. And that is Mrs. Adedoku, the bursar, FUMSA. You are welcome, ma. Thank you very, very much for coming. And also we have the librarian, Mrs. Idayat Agbola. You are welcome. Now, it is time to go to the time of Distinguished Fellowship Award. And we're going to do it as quickly as possible because of our time. First of all, I want to invite the faculty secretary, the Faculty of Ophthalmology, to read the citation of the Distinguished Fellowship Awardee, Dr. Sebastian Ndulue. Please, let's give a round of applause, please. Mr.
President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading the citation of Dr. Sebastian Ndulue Nwosu. Permit me to humbly request that you come forward, sir, to come and take a stand here. Professor Sebastian Nwosu is a distinguished professor of ophthalmology, epidemiology, global health at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Akwa. He's also a consultant ophthalmologist and vitreoretinal surgeon. He pioneered academic ophthalmology at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, establishing a full department and developed hospital-based ophthalmology residency accredited by both the National Postgraduate as well as the West African College of Surgeons. He also developed university-based ophthalmology and undergraduate program for the same institution. He midwifed the establishment of the Center for Eye Health Research and Training and led prevention of blindness activities and still leading the blindness prevention activities in Anambra State. He was Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, several times head of Guinness Eye Center Onitsha, Director of Center for Eye Health and Training, and has supervised many ophthalmology dissertations and PhD dissertations, including MSc thesis. He has published over 100 articles in peer-reviewed journals, conference presentation, books, book chapters, monographs, technical reports, and he has given several eponym and invited lectures. In terms of research, he published the first report of ocular HIV/AIDS in Nigeria, broke the myth about the rarity of diabetic retinopathy in Nigeria. He showed that many Nigerians taken as having open angle glaucoma indeed had narrow angles, defined the epidemiological characteristics of common blinding diseases in rural Anambra State, and also demonstrated the safety and effectiveness of subconjunctival anesthesia for intraocular surgery. In recognition of his contribution to ophthalmic education and research, the Sebastian Center for Ophthalmic Research and Education, SCORE, at Eleta Eye Institute in Ibadan was named after him. Of course, he's a member of numerous national and international professional and academic organizations, including Adair College, the West African College of Surgeons, International College of Surgeons, and American College of Surgeons. Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present Dr. Sebastian Ndulue Nwosu, MBBS, MD, MCO, FWAC, FICS, FACS, FNMA.
Please, a big round of applause for her and for Dr. Nwosu. That is good, that is big. College President, sir, I request that you kindly confer on Dr. Sebastian Ndulue Nwosu the Distinguished Fellowship of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria.
by the powers vested in me as college president, I confer upon you the Distinguished Fellowship Award of the National Private Medical College of Nigeria in recognition of your profound contributions to the growth and development of the college, the advancement of postgraduate medical education, the medical profession, and of our nation.
Another round of applause for him. And now to the next awardee. I want to call on the faculty secretary, Faculty of Surgery, to present the citation of Dr. Dili Dogo. Please, let's encourage the faculty secretary. Please, let's give him a round of applause.
Mr. President, sir, may I request Professor Dili Dogo to come over the stage as I read his recitation. Professor Dili Dogo, a distinguished fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Medicine, has carved a niche for himself as a towering figure in African medical education and university leadership. A consummate academic, a seasoned surgeon, an astute administrator, and a transformational leader, his career spans over 4 decades of unwavering service in scholarship, institutional development, and national growth. Born on the day his mates were born, December 31st, 1959 in Marama, Borno State, Professor Dogo's early brilliance was evident, graduating top of his class at every stage of his education. He earned his MBBS with distinction in medicine and physiology from the University of Maiduguri in 1984 and went on to complete his surgical residency at the University College Hospital, Ibadan, earning fellowships from both the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria and the West African College of Surgeons. His academic credentials are further enriched by international certifications in laparoscopic and endoscopic surgery from France and Germany, respectively. Professor Dogo's ascent through academics has been marked by visionary leadership as head of surgery and later provost of the College of Medical Sciences at the University of Maiduguri. He revitalized residency programs, restored full accreditation across departments, and mentored a generation of medical professionals now serving as professionals nationwide. His tenure on multiple governing boards and councils, including the University of Maiduguri, National Postgraduate Medical College, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, Assessment Committee of Nigerian National Merit Award, and Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria collectively reflects his deep-rooted influence on policy standards and institutional governance. It is in his current role as Vice Chancellor of the Nile University of Nigeria that Professor Dili Dogo's leadership has attained its most profound and transformative expression. Since his appointment in 2022, he has steered the institution from modest beginnings into a dynamic, globally recognized academic powerhouse. Through a rare blend of poise, strategic ingenuity, and visionary policy reform, he defined the university's identity, thus positioning it as a beacon of excellence celebrated across national borders and cultural landscapes. His appointment to the board of directors of Npmcn University in South Africa further affirms his continental stature. Under the visionary leadership and stewardship of Professor Dili Dogo as Vice Chancellor, Nile University of Nigeria has undergone a remarkable metamorphosis, emerging as a vibrant, nationally celebrated institution of higher learning. His leadership has not only redefined the university's trajectory, but has also set a new benchmark for academic excellence and institutional growth across the continent. Beyond academia, Professor Dogo is a respected community leader, a philanthropist, and a public servant. He has served as honorary special advisor on health to the governor of Borno State and contributed to national development through roles in the Nigerian National Merit Award and the Borno Elders Forum. Married with 5 children, Professor Dili Dogo remains a symbol of dedication, humility, visionary leadership. His legacy continues to shape institutions, inspire future leaders, and elevate the standards of education and healthcare across Nigeria and the African continent. Mr. President, sir, permit me to present to you past head of department, past provost, College of Health Sciences, Maiduguri, past provost, Nile University, past chairman, Faculty of Surgery, National Postgraduate Medical College, past everything. Presently, the Vice Chancellor, Nile University of Nigeria, Abuja, Professor Dili Dogo, MBBS, FMCS, FWACS, FICS, FACS, FNA, MED.
He's passed everything, but he's still a present surgeon. College President, sir, I request you kindly confer on Dr. Dili Dogo the Distinguished Fellowship of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria.
They left one out. I first worked closely with him when he was the chairman of the Committee of Provosts, of Nigerian medical schools. That was between, I came in 2014, he was already president, 2012. And I think that was up till 2015 or 16 before you hired over. That was the first time I worked closely with him. And whatever I hear that he's doing, I'm not surprised. I mean, I knew the kind of person was. We are very proud of you, sir. Now, so let the old things pass. So by the powers conferred in me as the college president, I confer on you the Distinguished Fellowship Award of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria in recognition of your profound contributions to the growth and development of the college, the advancement of postgraduate medical education in Nigeria and internationally, to the medical profession, and to our nation.
Congratulations. Now it's my pleasure to welcome upstage the Secretary of Otorhinolaryngology Head and Neck Surgery to give the citation of Dr. Basil Chukwuemeka Ezeanolue. Please, let's give him a round of applause, please.
Mr. President, distinguished audience, I have the pleasure in inviting Dr. Basil Chukwuemeka Ezeanolue, Emeritus Professor of ORHNS, to the stage. Dr. Basil Chukwuemeka Ezeanolue is a towering figure in Nigerian medical academia and clinical practice, whose career spanned over 4 decades of unwavering dedication to ORL, medical education, and national service. A graduate of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he earned his MBBS in 1979. His pursuit of excellence led to multiple postgraduate qualifications, including fellowship of National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, West African College of Surgeons, and International Colleges of Surgeons, FICS. In 2021, he was awarded the Doctor of Medicine by Npmcn, further cementing his academic stature. Dr. Ezeanolue has authored over 67 peer-reviewed publications, contributing significantly to the body of knowledge in ORL. His commitment to medical education is exemplified by his long-standing role as a resource person and examiner for National Postgraduate Medical College, where he has supervised over 34 fellowship dissertations, coordinated revision courses for nearly 2 decades. He served as in the faculty board for 29 years and was a member of the College Senate for an unbroken period of 23 years, holding key positions including faculty chairman, faculty secretary, and chairman of Senate committees. His leadership extended beyond academia into administrative role at University of Nigeria and UNTH Enugu, where he served multiple terms as head of department, dean of Faculty of Medical Sciences. He chaired numerous university and hospital committees, playing vital roles in institutional reform, infrastructure development, and academia. Dr. Ezeanolue's influence reaches into national and professional bodies. He served as secretary and later president of Otorhinolaryngology Society of Nigeria, was a faculty board member of West African College of Surgeons for 2 decades. His editorial contribution includes serving as editor-in-chief of Nigerian Journal of ORL and associate editor of Orient Journal of Medicine and Nigerian Postgraduate Medical Journal. He also established the Chukwuemeka Ezeanolue Prize in ORL in the college. A committed community leader, Dr. Ezeanolue has held positions in public service, including membership of the Board of Directors of Anambra State Housing Development Corporation, Governing Council of Chukwuemeka Ojukwu Teaching Hospital. Is a traditional title holder, Iche Ezeani Muta of Akwaeze, and a Knight of Saint Murumba. reflecting his deep cultural and spiritual roots. Married to Bibia Ngozi Zanole, is a proud father of 7 children and 12 grandchildren. His legacy is one of scholarship, mentorship, leadership, and service. Dr. Basi Zanole stands as a beacon of excellence in Nigerian medicine, whose contributions continue to shape the future of healthcare and medical education in the region. MD, FMCORA, FWAC, FICS, Knight of St. Murumba, our pride in ORA, Doye. Thank you very much.
College President, sir, I request you kindly confer on Dr. Basil Chukwuemeka Ezonule the Distinguished Fellowship of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria.
The old garment was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The college just feels that it deserves something better. So by the powers vested in me as a college president, I confer upon you the Distinguished Fellowship Award of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria in recognition of your profound contributions to the growth and development of the college, the advancement of postgraduate medical education in Nigeria and beyond, the medical profession, and our nation.
Mr. President, sir, I would like to call upstage the Secretary of the Faculty of Internal Medicine to give the citation of my predecessor in office, Dr. Fatiu Abiola Arugundade.
The President, sir, with your kind permission, may I request that Professor Fatiu Abiola Arugundade should come up here. Congratulations, sir. Professor Fatiu Abiola Arugundade is a distinguished Nigerian physician, academic, and nephrologist, whose career reflects a deep commitment to clinical excellence, institutional leadership, and medical education. He earned his MBBS from the University of Lagos in 1990 and completed his postgraduate training at OAU Ile-Ife. His academic journey includes fellowship from the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, West African College of Physicians, and the International Society of Nephrology, as well as prestigious recognitions from the Royal College of Physicians in Edinburgh and London. He holds a Doctor of Medicine and a certificate in leadership and management in health from the University of Washington. Professor Arugundade joined Obafemi Awolowo University as lecturer grade 1 in 2002 and rose to the rank of Professor of Medicine in 2011. At OAU-THC, he has served as Honorary Consultant Physician and Nephrologist, Kidney Transplant Coordinator, and Deputy Director of Hemodialysis and Transplant Programs. His leadership at OAU includes roles such as Vice Dean of the pivotal role in revitalizing the renal unit at OAU-THC, securing corporate support to restore dialysis services and establish a transplant building, positioning the hospital as a national center of excellence in renal care. At the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, Professor Arugundade has made profound contributions to postgraduate medical education. He served as Assistant Faculty Secretary and Course Coordinator between 2009 and 2012, Faculty Secretary between 2012 and 2015, Third Senate Member 2016 to 2018, and Chairman and Chief Examiner of the Faculty of Internal Medicine 2018 to 2021. His tenure as College Registrar from June 2021 to April 2025 was marked by significant reforms in academic governance, accreditation, and digital transformation. He has also served on numerous accreditation panels for both the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria and the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. His research spans chronic kidney disease, renal replacement therapies, and transplantation, with over 115 publications and 7 book chapters. He was editor-in-chief of the Journal of Clinical Sciences, editorial advisor to the Tropical Journal of Nephrology, and on the editorial board of American Journal of Kidney Disease. He has mentored over 35 postgraduate students and served as external examiner to 7 Nigerian medical schools. His international engagements include a visiting professorship at the University of Virginia and leadership roles within the lifelong dedication to advancing nephrology and medical education in Nigeria and beyond. Currently, as Vice Chancellor of FUMSA, Professor Arugundade is shaping the future of medical education in Nigeria with visionary leadership and a commitment to excellence. He is married with children and enjoys reading and traveling. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and privilege of presenting to you Professor Fatiu Abiola Arugundade, MBBS, FMCP, ISM Fellow, FWACP, FRCP Edinburgh, FRCP London, MD, FNA Med, FNAN, etc., etc. Thank you very much.
Etc. That you kindly confer on Dr. Fatiu Abiola Arugundade the Distinguished Fellowship Award of the National Postgraduate Medical College.
By the powers vested in me as the college president, I confer upon you the Distinguished Fellowship Award, contributions to the growth and development of the college, the advancement of postgraduate medical education, the medical profession, and our nation.
Mr. President, sir, because of our time, I want to invite one of the awardees to give a response in 2 minutes. And I want to call on Dr. Basil Chukwuemeka Ezeanolu.
Honorable President, sir. Honorable Minister. I was surprised when my colleagues, the other people who received the award with me, unanimously agreed that I should come and respond to this just a few minutes ago, and I was surprised and, well, I wish it's the presidency of Nigeria that awarded me like that. We are so glad to have been so recognized by the college in our lifetime when we are still able to attend in person and still contribute. In fact, they said that I just say thank you to you all. To the college, to their various faculties, to the Senate of the college and the governing council that considered and approved the award to us. Thank you very much, and we are not going to stop contributing to the growth of the college. This award has strengthened us to contribute much more than we have done in the past. You can notice that 2 of them are vice chancellors, sitting vice chancellors. They will fly the flag of this college in those universities and contribute much more to medical education and training in Nigeria. On behalf of the awardees, I say thank you all for the recognition. We shall do more. Thank you very much.
Because of our time, the President has directed that we should do things in fast, very fast pace. Thank you very much. Now, College President, sir, the persons whose names will be called, having satisfied all the requirements contained in the curriculum of the postgraduate of the Diploma program approved by the Senate of the National Private Medical College of Nigeria, are now qualified to receive the Diploma in the Faculty of Family Medicine. So with all new diplomates of the Faculty of Family Medicine, please stand and remain standing. Please, Chairman and Secretary of Family Medicine, please, we want you upstage.
College President, sir. The College President, sir, with the authority of the Senate, I present the following specialists in the Faculty of Family Medicine who have obtained postgraduate diploma comparable, postgraduate diploma in the National Postgraduate Medical College and have further distinguished themselves in the practice and the teaching and research in the field of family medicine, have been elected by the Senate on recommendation of the Faculty Board of Family Medicine. Award of Diploma of National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria in family medicine with all rights, duties, and privileges appertaining hereto. I request you to kindly confer the diploma on all those who are physically present or joined virtually for whom
I stand proxy.
So I will now call the graduates. Abdullahi Abdul Baba, Adeyo Latif Ayoade, Adibe France Obiefule, Akanro Charity Udochukwu, Akpan Unyime Imekan, Akwada Obioma Richards, Asamoye Vivian Chinyere, Basi Udoakobon Usen, Chukwu Christopher Uchenna, Durunguma Iheoma Kindness, Ebigwa Tobechukwu Rosetta, Ezenyimulu Chioma Nkemdirim, Falegan Omalade Comfort, Ibrahim Yaya Oniwon, Ikuli Ibebieru Iboroma, Ikomola Gbemisola Olubunmi, Itaketo Idongesit Ndayo, Iwo Anyebuk Ekerete, Iyanda Fadilat Folashade, Madaki Sheyin David, Malik Fatima Uluwabukola, Mohammed Abdullahi Chado, Ngwobia Ukoha, Nweze Vincent Afam, Ogbona Chukwuemeka Michael, Oko Mary Marita Nkechi, Omu Helen Onyeche, Onora Evaristos Njoku, Osuala Ejim Koye, Owoyale Musa Olatunji Pitan, Olubunmi Adedayo, Tantua Etuaton Weber, Uja Igoche, Ukpong Edidiong Sunday, Wuya Peter, Yombe Zainab Wantadi, and Yusuf Bolahan Adebayo.
Permit me to shorten the time. Will the postgraduate diplomates in the Faculty of Anesthesia stand? Chairman and Secretary, Faculty of Anesthesia. Please, public health, please come forward because of time.
Okay. College President, sir, by the authority of the Senate, I present the following diplomate in the Faculty of Anesthesia who, having satisfactorily completed the prescribed courses of study and passed relevant examination of the college, have been awarded the postgraduate diploma in anesthesia by the Senate. I request that you kindly convert the diploma on all those who are physically present or join virtually, for whom I stand proxy. Thank you.
College President, sir, the name, sir, Olaoye David Olaliko, Waziri Mohammed Ibrahim.
They are virtual. Yes, virtual. Faculty of Public Health, with all diplomates, postgraduate diplomates in Faculty of Public Health stand. Chairman.
Thank you. College President, sir, by the authority of the Senate, I present the following diplomates in the Faculty of Public Health and Community Medicine who, having satisfactorily completed the prescribed course of study and passed the relevant examinations of the college, have been awarded postgraduate diploma in public health and community medicine by the Senate. I request that you kindly confer the diploma on all those who are physically present or those who have joined virtually, for whom I stand proxy. Thank you.
College President, sir, the diplomates include Boari Dabota Yvonne, Okwonu Chimezie Coatswill.
Thank you. They are all online. Will all the diplomates stand and remain standing as we recite this diplomat pledge after me? With a firm belief, I want to hear you and I want to hear those online. Please, those online, stand and recite the pledge. In a firm belief that the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria exists to produce the best principles and traditions of our profession, solemnly pledge to live with ethics, with all the principles and regulations. I dedicate myself to uphold the ethics and precepts of the profession. To place the welfare of my patients above other considerations. And to deal with each patient as I would wish to be dealt with if I were a patient. To deal with patients in appreciation of the fact that the award of diploma by the college is a recognition of my proficiency as a general duty doctor.
Reception of the fact that the award of diploma by the college is a recognition of my proficiency.
I will limit my practice to the level of skills and knowledge that I have attained.
I will limit my practice to the level of skills and knowledge that I have attained.
And invite specialists in the relevant fields when it is in the best interest of my patients. I pledge to seek to advance my knowledge and skills through continuous professional development.
I will advance my skills and professional through continuous
I pledge not to do anything which in any way may be against the ideals of the college. So help me God.
So help me God.
President, sir, you may now confirm them.
By the authority vested in me as the college president, I confer on all of you who are here physically present or joining virtually the postgraduate diploma of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria with all rights and privileges and responsibilities appertaining thereof. Congratulations.
Diplomats, please take a bow to the president. Take a bow to the president. Straighten up.
I'm sorry, is there any problem with your back?
I don't know whether there's a problem with your back. Okay, okay, we are going to go again, please. The president represents the traditions and history of this college, represents your teachers, represents the governing board and the senate of this college, represents your mentors. So please, when you do that, you are respecting all your trainers and this institution. So take a bow to the president. Straighten up. Bend your caps with the tassel to the right. You may, okay, make yourself. You may have your seat. Thank you. So we've come to the time of MD Award. And I want to call on the chairman of MD Postgraduate Board, Professor Atuyebi.
College President, sir, by the authority of the Senate, I present the following fellows who have distinguished themselves in clinical practice, teaching, and research, as well as those who have successfully completed the postgraduate Doctor of Medicine training in various institutions in the country and passed the prescribed examinations of the college. They have been awarded the degree of Doctor of Medicine by the Senate. I request you to kindly confer the degree on those who are physically present or join virtually, for whom I stand proxy. Who is that?
Okay, their names are from the Faculty of Dental Surgery, Ebuna Uchenna Patrick. Faculty of Family Medicine, Amale Zilea Musa, Onu Ilakiche Esther, Shenan Yuvok Andrew, Useni Shekien Sana. From the Faculty of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Okori Etos Ike, Okwade Kehinde Sharafadin. From the Faculty of Ophthalmology, Borodo Sekinat Bala. From the Faculty of Pediatrics, Agbo Ezine Stebnora. Faleye Ayodele Dasola. Laguju Oroluwa Eniola. Lamina Amotsuno Bukola. Eri Ezeli Chizom Adaobi. Ofieli Ogochukwu Chioma. And Ude Ifoma Azuka. From the Faculty of Pathology, Akujobi Tobechi Adana, Otman Ishaku Agao, Sonny Kamarudin Owolabi. From the Faculty of Internal Medicine, Edafe Emmanuel Auchi. From the Faculty of Public Health and Community Medicine, Abdulrahim Kamaldeen Sukomi, Abubakar Joshua Difa, Shima Oduku Alero, Emecheta Anuli Pierre, Isek Kepe Brenda Chukwu Funaya, Onduka Chinelo Cynthia, Osadiaye Olanlesi Olubusayo, Shobainde John Kolawole, and Uzora Bolanle. From the Faculty of Surgery, Balogun Simon Adewale, Umba Uwakwe Cosmas. And then from the Faculty of Otorhinolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery, Alabi Biodun Suleiman. Olajide Toye Gabriel, Olaniyan Oladujoye David, and Uze Uchechukwu Chinelo. From the Faculty of Orthopedics, Zubair Umar Farouk. Thank you.
College President, sir, please, you may confer the award. You may confer the award on. Please, those online, please remain standing.
By the authority vested in me as the college president, I confer on you all the Doctor of Medicine degree of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All MD doctors, please stand. Mr. President, sir, please stand. Take a bow to the President. Straighten up. Don your caps with the tassel to the left. The President did not accept your bow. Okay, that's not a bow. All right? So please take a bow to the President.
That's for Kosoburudu. To bow well. Yes, that's what I think, sir.
Please remove your cap, and right, take a bow. Okay, straighten up. Down your cap with your tassel to the left. Thank you. You may have your seat. Now, because of our time, in agreement by the direction of the President, we're going to do all the fellowship awards all together.
Of the National Postgraduate Medical College.
Can you mute those online? Please mute everybody online. Mute everybody online. Dr. S.S. Sule, you will come up to conferment of the fellowship award. College President, sir, the persons whose names will be called, having satisfied all the requirements contained in the curriculum approved by the Senate of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria are now qualified to be received as fellows of the college in the various faculties. So will all the new fellows in the Faculty of Anesthesia, Dental Surgery, Family Medicine, Family Dentistry, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Ophthalmology, Pediatrics, Pathology, Internal Medicine, Psychiatry, Public Health and Community Medicine, Radiology, Surgery, Otorhinolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery, Orthopedics, and Emergency Medicine, please remain standing.
And their names are Faculty of Anesthesia, Abdullahi Ali Musa, Adebi Olusegun Odushola, Akponye Solomon Jide, Aliyu Sena Amina, Ameye Biyeyana Ibn, Asuko Angela Efyong, Awa Emmanuel Atengweye, Ebulu Ekaite Daniel, Efe Douglas Godwin, Amza Aliyu, Ibiyomi Akim, Joseph Olufunke Comfort, Muhammad Abdulrahman, Mukhtar Lawan, Uwankwo Charles Lawrence Onyekwere, Odigbo Michael, Ogudu Friday Okike, Okonkwo Thank God Chukwunoso, Okore Udoka, Olaniyan Olabisi Juliana, Oluwa Yaibi Lewis, Opadola Omodele Adefunke, Orokara Orok Taku, Sonny Nimatalai Olawumi, Usman Yohana Musa, then Emedike Anwa Ifeoma Uju, Faculty of Dental Surgery, Adebiyi Dare James, Akiola Adiola Rafiat, Anjoni Olaide Olayemi, Arinze Odogbo Comfort, Ewereje Amarachi Ikem Sinachi, Fusomi Mohammed Ayuba, Kolebele Omotunde Abiola, Obi Donald Ikechukwu, Okeke Uzubechukwu Emmanuel, Okuongale Elono Ogumo, Osasona Titilayo Olua Pamilerin, Shehu Yusau Abdullahi, Solomon Stephen, and Upebo Izoguya Vivian. For fellowship by election in the Faculty of Dental Surgery, we have Okoturo Eyituogo, Sanu Oluwatosi Oluyemi, Utomi Ifoma Linda. Faculty of Family Medicine, Ayuaja Nayagawa, Ada Roslyn Egbe, Akolawole Tayo Adeagbo, Alade Ojebi Adetotu Isaac, Albashir Aishatu, Amakri Sotonye Ibiba, Amai Dushima Charity, Amale Zila Musa, Ani Innocent Henry, Basi Ekemini Silas, Ibrahim Sadiq Guduf, Ibrahim Yusuf Ashipita, Ikpeazu Kechukwu, Iyawa Cynthia, Joshua Benjamin, Madaki Azi Benjamin, Okechukwu Kezia Nwayeze, Oloko Ifedolapo Olaide, Omerije Ngozi Monica, Onwekwe Chiwendu Jacinta, Reginald Agocha Ifeniwa Imena, Usaini Sekien Sana, Sulaiman Ahmed, Zakaria Rashidat. Therefore, fellowship by election, Faculty of Family Medicine, Adegoke Abel Kehinde, Faculty of Family Dentistry, we have Edangbe Sarah Fatima, Ojo Olanrewaju Adegboyega, Faculty of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Abdul Mohammed Anwalu, Abdullah Musa Olatunji, Abdul Rashid Lubabatu, Abel Victor Jiye Miana, Adebara Olusegun Cosmos, Adebayo Sahid Yomi, Adebo Aima Lohi Inibokun, Adere Tolulope Kola, Akera Adegboyega Ganiat Ade, Anyang Ubong Inyang, Aremu Adijat Ifedola, Arotiba Abayomi Ayoride, Audu Linda James, Chiemeze Odera Chiebuna, Dan Kuwo Adeleke Oyenuga, Elisha Asana Riman, Ewuze Ikena Romanos, Ezekwere Chika Sandra, Ibrahim Nasiru, Idebudia Osanyo More, Ifedude Joshua Ebuka, Lasin Onyinye Nneka, Maduka Chike Jochim, Musa Atiku Dayab, Unjoku Ifeoma Veralane, Uwa Bude Victor Onyebuchi, Uwokoku Peter Chibueze, Odion Naka Chukwudeme Darlington, Ogbona Cyril Okonkwo, Ogbunora Nwakego, Ojubele Nimotalai Modupe, Oko Andrew Eheagbona, Okole Chinelu Onuagbona, Oladejo Beauty Anwule, Olori Edima Michael, Olorede Okunade Zainab Adedoyin, Omoseyin Ayobola Oyebanjo, Opa Njoma Chioma, Oyedepo Gabriel Olatunde, Simon Danjuma Randong, Tom George Gift Ozeakachi, Uzogwe Jide Uzo Wulu, and Yunusa Miriam Moturayo. Adendu Ikechebulu Joseph Ifeachuku. Then Faculty of Ophthalmology, Abubakar Abdulkarim, Agbana Tolulope Oluropo, Agahon Benedict Omuawa Ajawa, Annie Cletus Ene, Anikwen Wa Judith Ogechi, Ayo Ibukun Oluwa Tolulope, Bala Abdulrahman Musawa, Bodunde Olamike Folashade, Bolaji Adeola Odunayo, Chibata Chigoze Chinozo, Chijioke Eunice Adama, Douglas Johnson Iyengibi, Egon Gon, Aruse Oto, Ginsau Saidatu Aruna, Ananiya Mata Dauda, Aruno Miriam Musa, Ibrahim Aisha Mutasin, Ifeche Chika Njebika, Masho Deborah Abimbola, Muhammad Ibrahim Opanaki, Muhammad Fauzia Sabo, Munaje Melchizedek Ignatius, Indi Ezuma Nnamdi Nwakama, Nwabueze Ogechi Benedicta, Nwokedi Chidima Chinenye, Odúbọlá Tolúlọpẹ́ Ọmọtóyọ̀sí, Ògúnbẹ́kùn Ọládàpọ̀ Olúwadámilọ́lá, Okoli Barbara Chioma, Olúlẹ́yẹ Títílọpẹ́ Táyé, Olúmọdéjì Ufọma Olúwaṣèyí, Obúlakin Tolúlọpẹ́ Olútósìn, Ọ̀ṣúnkọ̀yà Latifat Tebítọpẹ́, Oyèkúnlé Idris Akíntayọ̀, Pópóọlá Ihedima, Salami Razak, Sule Ademola Ayoda, Sulaiman Abubakar Sadiq, Uzgu Chinedu Bertrand, Upewan Roslyn Omo, Umar Aisha Mele, Wajeru Taiwo Ebolu, Yusuf Ibrahim. Faculty of Pediatrics, ready? Okay. Adeba Rita Ifechukwu, Pediatrics. Akpan Usenobong Morgan, Aoku John Ame, Baba Miriam Aliyu, Bello Kehinde Adeshola, Bukar Muhammad Abacha, David Abraham Enejo, Ebue Charles Arinze, Eze Okeke Chinelo Onyinye Nkem Dilin, Idialu Egbobo Juliet Enze, Ilyasu Zainab, Item Sunday, Kimsi Dangat Bitrus, Mikailu Abubakar Jan Gebe, Uwobi Anulika Cecilia, Obok Felicia, Ofogebe Binyelu Adaobi, Ogutade Idayat Obabolaji, Okeke Miriam Chizoba, Okere Ebele Stella, Okoro Chiwe Chioma, Okosi Valerie Chizelum, Onu Nosarimen Patience, Oyeje Chigoze Kensley, Onyeka Chimere Adaize, Onyerika Ifeanyi Henry, Osang Simon Edo, Otetubi Olayinka Aderonke, Ovie Akeri Justus, Salau Abiba, Udodo Isong Patrick, Ugadu Chukwuemeka Ogbunnya. For the Faculty of Pediatrics, Fellowship by Election, Faculty of Pediatrics, Bill Amabet Are. Faculty of Pathology, Adewumi Rotimi Samson, Adeyi Omoruri, Aliyu Chuko, Aminu Ahmed A, Bilambo Boli Elias, Chioma Elizabeth Musa, Dantuni Yusuf, Eke Uchechi Juliet, Emin Johnson, NSC Adieza Samuel, Ezekoli Ozioma Emmanuel, Gav Tana Ambrose, Ghazali Yusuf Kali, Goni Bilikus Alkali, Hamza Ahmed, Ike Kenechi Gerard, Ismail Alima, Jika Aminu Said, Emi Adedapo, Anifowose Aderisola Olufunke, Atinge Sonem, Fepere Tony Valerie, Garba Jamilu, Isekpe Brenda Chukwu Funaya, John Sifonabasi Ekpedeme, Ofem Omini Daniel, Ogbaji Ferdinand Ibu, Omotayo Morufat Titilope, Sanusi Suraya Mutar. Fellowship by Election, Faculty of Public Health and Community Medicine, Olubenga Belu Adenike Iyanu Oluwa. Faculty of Radiology, Ajayi Azizat Olajumoke, Ajayi Omobolale Taufiko, Bashir Miriam Adebola, Durosimi Kafiyat Abiodun, Fashakin Teniola Asmao, Isa Ismaila Mato, Kọ́mọláfẹ́ Oyèrónkẹ́ Ṣọlá, Njoku Chinyere Lizzie, Ọ̀jẹ́rẹ̀mí Táíwò Tósìn, Ọ̀jẹ́rẹ̀mí Olúrántí Èdúgbè, Ológe Akínwù Láńrè Habib, Olúyẹdé Ọláwọlé Glory, Tọwọ́jú Àánú Olúwapọ̀ Gbàdúrà, Tukọ̀ Yusuf, Umenzekwe Oluchi Jermaine. Tukọ̀, okay. Faculty of Surgery, Abubakar Awu Muhammad, Achibiri Oyemoziri Williams, Ademola Samuel Adesina, Adeoye Peter Oladapo, Adesiyoko Adedotu, Aji Sonny Ali, Akashike Gerard Chinozo, Alu Solomon Akoji. Faculty of Surgery, is everybody coming forward? Ayigo Ferdinand Friday, Atobatela Kazim Mulosore, Bakare Nurudin Benga, Balogun Olarewaju Samuel, Bankole Olufemi Babatola, Chukwuma Odinaka Ilari, Elebute Olumide Abiodun, Enaoro Joel Eremosele, Esen Ubon Okun, Falashe Olabode Akisonwo, Ibadi Moses Oga, Ibrahim Taofik Ishola, Ikpebu Tochukwu Ogechukwu, Jabiru Kasim Mohammed, Lawal Abdulrazak Oluwagbebiga, Lukon Christopher Suye. Obiora, Mohammed Aminu Muhammad, Ogolo Donald Ekemobong, Ogulaya Ezekiel Olayiwola, Okieri Ikena Chimwanya, Okori Obasi August, Okpanachi Christopher Ile, Okubo Sanli Ukadike, Olaguju Tunde Ajani, Olaitan Peter Babatunde, Olatilu Tope John, Oludara Mobalaji Adewale, Onopoya Uve Ufoma, Osho Oluwarotimi Adewusi, Otenekle Ikechukwu, Oniloye Oluwaseun Abioye, Raji Tafik Kewulere, Sulaiman Abdulatif Temitope, Umar Abubakar, Uthman, William Omolola Modupe, Yaya Abubakar, Kanu Okeze Obasi, Ugo Chiebere Ndukwe. Faculty of Surgery Fellowship by Election, Ame Emmanuel Adoyi, Ikeruru Stephen Odunayo. Faculty of Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery, Dauda Rukayat, Dawaki Ibrahim, Igbafen Augustine Oje King, Jimo Mustapha Lawal, Nwanfo Ifeanyi Ezezona, Omodele Abdulrahman, Alaba Idowu Oluwagbenga, Buba Ibrahim Babangida, Fakutu Tatia Naira, Jepla Nankwat Stephen, Joel Jacob, Ntude Henry, Ntude Dueme, Ọ̀dẹ́jọbí Káyọ̀dé Ọláníwájú, Odúwàrè Ọmọrògbè Ìdúmídìá, Ògbódò Roy Osita, Okomedo Báwò, Olórúkọba Sulaiman Túndé, Olórúkọba Sulaiman Túndé, Ọmọníyì Ayọ̀lúwa Emmanuel, Ozo Awoke Anthony, Shitu Olúwaṣẹ́gun, Uzen Uchendu Ugochukwu Timothy, Udo Sunday Joseph, Yakis Isaac Musa. Fellowship by Election, Agaja Samuel Babatunde. Faculty of Emergency Medicine, Fellowship by Election, Oyedokun Taufik Oluwasegun. Sorry, fellows, I apologize if I did not pronounce your name well. Maybe in future we'll be asking you to send us how your name should be pronounced.
Please, with all the fellows, stand. We don't hear your name. We don't hear your name. If you do not hear your name, where are you? If you do not hear your name, where are you? You are the only one. You are the only one. Okay, please. Okay, please. Sorry. College President, sir. Please permit me to express my sincere apologies to the chairman and the secretary. They are my employers for not allowing them to play their roles. I know it's from the directive of the leadership of the college, and because of, please accept my sincere apology. Fellows, please recite after me. In a firm belief, I want to hear you loud and clear. Now I'm going to start all over again. In a firm belief that the solemnly pledged to live and practice in strict accordance with all its principles and regulations. I rededicate myself to uphold the ethics and precepts, place the welfare of my patients above all other considerations, to deal with each patient as I would wish to be dealt with if I were a patient, to render willing assistance to my colleagues in respect
to render willing assistance to my colleagues in respect to
continue education and association with specialists of eminence. Finally, I pledge to participate in every way in the effort to advance the cause of the college, its ideals, and the principle for which it was established.
Its ideals and the principle for which it was established.
College President, sir.
I want the ones on my please. Thank you. Because God must help you in this matter. All right. By authority vested in me as the college president, I confer on you all the fellowship of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. With all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Congratulations. So, fellows, take a bow to the president. President, are you satisfied? Don your cap with your tassel to the left. You may now take your seat. So will all the prize winners move to my left? And I will be calling your names out one by one. And please, let's make it snappy. The college prize. Alima Ata Prize for the best dissertation in cancer research. Dr. Njoku Chiwere Lizzie. Is she here? Please come up quickly, please. Okay. Yes, sir. I will call your name, so you should just match it out. Then Alima Ata Prize for the second best dissertation in cancer research. Adeku Adeiza Natalia. Professor Linus Ajabo Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 FMCOG examination. Yunusa Mariam Motunrayo. Professor Musa M. Borodo Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 FMCP examination in the subspecialty of gastroenterology. Saleh Habibu Tijani. Professor Friday Okoma Prize for the best Part 2 dissertation in the Faculty of Internal Medicine. Okay. No. Professor John Azibrike Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 FMC PED neonatology subspecialty. Kingsley Onyeje Chigozie. Faculty of Anesthesia. 1. C. Famewo Prize for the best candidate in Part 2. Fox Crab Prize for the best candidate in Principles and Practice of Anesthesia paper in Part 1 FMC examination. Bashir Aliyu Adamu. S.A. Odlington Prize for the best. Okay. Thank you. Please just come out for a handshake and for recognition because we just want to save the time. Please. So just come out and for a chance. We'll continue to call your name, but just come out for a handshake. All right. Odlington Prize for the S.A. Odlington Prize for the best candidate in the Part 2 final FMC examination. Okonko Tango Chukunonso. Dr. Emmanuel Lewita Uruadan Prize for the best in Part 1 and Part 2 examination. Okonko Tango Chukunonso. Dr. Nosakare Philomena Edonwoyi Prize for the best dissertation in obstetrics anesthesia. Aponye Solomon Njide. Kushima Prize for the best dissertation in Shina Ogunbi Retired Prize for the best candidate dissertation in intensive and critical medicine at the Part 2 final fellowship. Abdullahi Aliyu Musa. Femi Adenubi Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 at Professor E. Adekeye Prize for the best graduating candidate in Part 2 dissertation in oral and maxillofacial surgery. Shehu Yushau Abdullahi. Olatokumbo Abiose Prize for the best Part 2 candidate in oral and maxillofacial subspecialty viral logbook. Solomon Stephen. Pelaye Jeboda Prize for the best graduating candidate in community dentistry in Part 2 fellowship final examination. Okun Gai Eloho Ogumo, Faculty of Family Medicine. Dr. Alaba A. Kalejaye Prize for the overall best candidate in clinical Part 1 examination. Abubakar Sumaya Garba. Dr. J. Omitowoju Prize for the overall best candidate in Part 1 FMC-FM examination. Abubakar Sumaya Garba. Faculty Prize for the best graduating Part 2 candidate in FMC-FM examination. Zakaria Rashida. Fritzen Prize for the best graduating candidate in Part 2 finals FMCM examination. Zakaria Rashida. Federal Medical Center Umahia Prize for the best graduating student in Part 2 finals FMCFM examination. Zakaria Rashida. And Pa Joseph Abi and Madam Alice Adebinkwe Kuteyi Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 final fellowship examination in the Faculty of Family Medicine. Zakaria Rashida. Faculty of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. O. Majekodumi Sogon Prize for the best candidate in Part 1 FMCOG examination. Joseph Elizabeth. Dr. M.A. Majekodumi Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 FMCOG examination. Yunusa Maria Muturayo. River State Maria Chioma. Professor E.E. Opere Chioma, Professor Prize for the best candidate in Part 1 oral examination, Agbuola Kehinde Olusesan. Professor O.U.J. Umera Prize for the best candidate, J. Umera Prize for the best candidate in Part 1 clinical examination, Joseph Elizabeth. Candidate in Part 1 clinical examination, Joseph Elizabeth. Professor V. Eguatu Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 oral examination, Yunusa Maria Mutunrayo. Dr. Mrs. Eseohi Anazio Koro Prize for the best female Part 2 candidate, Yunusa Maria Mutunrayo. Professor Paul Eziono Prize for the best dissertation in Part 2 FMCOG examination, Ofa Ijeoma Chioma. Professor O.C. Peze Prize for overall best male candidate in Part 2 FMCOG examination, Simon Danjuma Randong. Professor B.C. Ozumba Prize for the best dissertation candidate, male, in Part 2 FMCOG. Prize for the best candidate in primary FMC examination, Musa Aliu Umar. Dr. Oye Obiola Habiba. Dr. H.A. Ajibode Prize for the best candidate in refraction at Part 1 FM. Dr. B.G.K. Ajayi Prize for the best candidate in MCQ Part 1 FMC Ophthalmology Examination, Ado Rahman Abubakar. Dr. Adeyinka O. Ashayi Prize for the best dissertation in glaucoma in Part 2 FMC Ophthalmology Examination, Anikenwa Judith Ogechi. Dr. Adesola Majepo, best candidate in Part 2 FMC Ophthalmology Examination, Anikenwa Judith Ogechi. Dr. Dupe Kukola Prize for the best pediatric eye research in children under 18 years, Ibrahim Aisha Mutasim. Professor Osahan Prize for the best candidate in orals Part 2 examination, Suli Ademola Ayola. Faculty of Pediatrics, Dr. Adedayo Adeniyi Research Award in Clinical Pediatrics, David Abraham and Major. Delta State Government Prize for overall best candidate in Pediatrics, FMC Ped examination, Obok Felicia. NNB International Bank PLC Prize for the best candidate in Pediatrics, Okeke Mary Jane Shizoba. Enzo Prize for the best candidate in Pediatrics, Otetubi Olayinka Aderonke. Professor Anene Okolo Prize for the best Doctor of Medicine thesis in field of neonatology, Laguju Oreoluwa Eniola, Faculty of Pathology. Dr. Alexander Yimofeboyo Prize for the best Part 1 candidate in chemical pathology in FMC PATH examination, Dachi Fimba and that. Dr. Victor Wakuyode. Dr. M.S. Jurusimi Prize for the best candidate in Part 1 FMC PATH examination, Muhammad Maimuna Uthman. Professor E.D. Atta Prize for the best performing graduate in histopathology, anatomical pathology, Part 2 FMC PATH examination, Sani Kamaruddin Owolabi. Now for this, I want the representative of the first bank to come forward, please. The representative of the first bank. Okay. And this is Professor Abba. Professor Sabu, please, can you come up, please? Sabu. Segu, thank you. Professor Segu, please, can you come up, please? No, Professor Segu, please. To join them. So, Professor Abba Segu Prize for the best candidate at FMC PATH examination in hematology and blood transfusion, Namadu Josiah Ndadisa.
It is my pleasure to give you this for being the best candidate in the Part 2 examination of hematology and blood transfusion. I wish you all the best, and I hope to get more from you as you practice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So bring the check. So I'm going to help him to cash the check. I'm afraid that before he gets to inside Lagos, they might take it from him. Don't worry, it's safe. I'll give you a call to.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry for mispronouncing. For the best candidate in medical microbiology in Part 2 FMC pass examination, Orabweze Ibuchuku Nkeoyes Nasoya. I'm sorry for that. Faculty of Internal Medicine, Dr. XF Kuku Prize for the best overall candidate in Part 1 FMCP examination, Nuruddin Asmau Belko. Late Dr. O.O. Elegbeleye Prize for the best candidate in the clinical component of the Part 1 FMCP examination, Rabiu Aliu. Late Dr. A.O. Sebanjo Prize for the best female candidate in the clinical component of Part 1 FMCP examination, Nuruddin Asmau Belko Rabiu Aliu. Late Dr. A.O. Gorioli Prize for the best overall candidate in Part 2 FMC examination, fact best overall candidate in cardiology at Part 2 examination, Ayodele Lufemi Oluranti. AFB Mabayoje Prize for the best overall candidate in renal medicine at Part 2 examination, Adeyeye Adedeji Lawrence. Adishola Oguni Prize for the best Part 2 candidate in neurology of endocrine diabetes and metabolism, Agbona Shegun Majekobemi. Dr. A.B. Oloko Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 FMCP fellowship examination in gastroenterology, Salih Habibu Tijani. Dr. Austin Obasohan Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 examination in cardiology subspecialty, Ayodele Olufemi Oluranti. Psychiatry, Ayo BDT Prize for the best candidate in Part 2 FMCP Psych examination, additional Ismail Olaiton. Olufemi Moraki, your prize for the best candidate in FMC Psych examination, Udokun Neka Vivian. T. Adamson Prize for the best female candidate in Part 1 FMC Psych examination, Udokun Neka Vivian. Dr. O. Obibono Prize for the best graduating fellow in Part 2 FMC Psych examination, additional Ismail Olaiton.
Sorry, let me save him from this. Look at the documents right before you. Do we all have this? The list of our awardees are all there. They will be on our website. What it's trying to do is to make sure that we properly announce. They've all come and we've already shaken their hands for a bit of time. We have long overshot our plan for today, and we don't want to keep you for so long. So,
okay.
I'm going to give them permission to skip those ones.
As presented.
So, as presented. So I can take what is left and do the other things rather. Thank you.
Thank you, College President, sir. So, all the awardees as presented. Approved? Thank you very much. College President, sir, I want to invite the chairman, the ceremonies committee of the Senate, to give the vote of thanks. Dr. Jeje.
Honorable Minister, College President, our landlord, Oba Ijanikin of Ijanikin, other protocols duly observed. I'd like to On behalf of the organizing committee for this occasion, something we're doing on behalf of the governing board, the Senate, and the fellows of the college, I'd like to thank each and every one of us that have been here today. In no particular order, I think first and foremost, I'd like to thank the convokees who made today, because if they are not here, if it's not for them, we will not be here. So I'd like to thank them for fulfilling and getting to the finishing line. And I wish them all the best in the future endeavor. On behalf of the committee, I plead with them. I think why some of them are still thinking of JAPA. Please remember the debt you owe your teachers, and you owe the country that has invested in you. Kindly do the needful before you decide to go and do the others abroad. Once again, on behalf of the committee, we congratulate you and we rejoice with you and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I thank all the guests that have come along with you, your spouses, your children, and many thanks to the President who overruled when we said that the children should stay outside. I think the President, being an ONG man, and he trying to play Jesus Christ, let the children come to me, for they are the kingdom of heaven. Thanks for making that little something for them. And I hope that today's celebration will be something that will ginger the children and the kids around to make sure that, look, if there's one profession that they want to be, it is out to be medicine. It's the only profession in which when you treat a patient very well, he pays your dues, he travels abroad, and buys you a very good gift. No other profession does that. For our sister colleges, I'd like to thank them for coming to honor us. Like I used to call my faculty chair in the West African College, I call him my regional boss. My regional president is here, ably supported by his Secretary General. I guess if I knew that it was going to rain, I would have sent some money to my good friend, the Secretary General of West African College of Surgeons, Professor Frank Oguba, because I know that the eastern part of this country, they have a lot of what do they call them? Rainmakers. I'm sure if I had given Frank enough money, he will have come down to Ijaniki with one or two of those rainmakers. But thank God the rain has subsided now, and I'm sure by the time we leave here, we should all get to our places before the rain starts all over again. So I want to thank them. My sister colleague from Ghana, the President made a lot of appeal to those who have not been to Ghana before. For those of us who have been in Ghana as far back as 1980, we know what Ghana is all about. So we'll continue to visit Ghana. We thank them for coming to honor us, and I'm sure we'll also reciprocate. The other invitees that also are various vice chancellors. I would say that I guess this is the first convocation in which we have about 3 vice chancellors sitting here. And 2 of them got distinguished award. I'm sure they know that those who gave the distinguished award, I'm sure you know what it means. We appreciate what you have done, but we're also looking for what you are going to do in return. To whom much is given. Okay. So on behalf of the college, we are thanking you for what you are going to do for us. Fortunately, I know all of them. All of them have been very close friends of mine. And they all have what Ayan used to call AIE, Authority to Incur Expenditure. So from my good friend, former chairman, Deli Dogo, to my good friend Fatiu, all I want to find out from them, what's the limit of their AIE? So we can know how much we are going to ask for them. For the honorable minister who is duly represented, when we get to the menu, I will present the request list. I won't say it outside here, so that the taxman will not wait for him or wait for me. So we thank you for coming, and we appreciate for accepting what you are giving, and then we also look forward to what you are going to do for us. For the members of the committee, I thank them for packaging everything that you all have been able to witness today. We thank the President, I thank the Chairman, I thank the Registrar. I've done a lot of modification to make sure that we don't spend too much time like we used to do. Now, what's the home? We expect the convokees to leave here and go to the new Senate building where you collect your documents, your proper certificates. What will be given is just a symbolic, so you get your certificate and you sign for it. Please keep it, and if you are like, you want to be like what I did a couple of years ago, you can laminate it, put it in the cloud and keep it. In that same new Senate building, that's where we expect you to go to. You collect your certificate, sign for it, and there you also collect your packs. Yeah, we made some adequate preparations for your menu, and there you'll be duly attended to. And for those who want areas for their also being provided, I hope that the little bit of rain will not have made a little bit of mess of it, but I'm sure we'll tidy it up for you. So please, once you leave here, you go to the new Senate building to collect your documents and sign for it, and then also collect your menu. For our various guests, governing board, Senate, we made an arrangement for you. We'll move on to the menu. We won't waste much time so that we can all leave here early enough before the second set or maybe the third set of rain. Again, and we sincerely pray that the good Lord will be with us and we go to a different destination and we will arrive there safely. Once again, thank you for honoring us, for coming to this Senate meeting. And for the convokees, once again, congratulations and all the very best.
Thank you, sir. President, sir. I also like to thank our history, our institution, and our heritage. These are the gentlemen sitting in front, the past presidents, treasurers, and registrars of the college. Thank you for coming, sir. God bless you. And my last word to you convokees, when you walk out through that door, you are going to meet with people that have the same thing that you now have. Listen, what will stand you out is not what you have, but what you do with what you have. So I charge you that you do something with what you have. College President, sir, I want to formally invite you to declare the convocation closed.
I declare the convocation closed. Thank you.
So before we go, for our guests, our distinguished awardees, we are meeting at the multipurpose hall for our lunch. For our convokees, you will go to the new Senate building to collect your packed lunch together with one for your guest. Thank you. I hope that is clear. So for all of us, chairman, secretary, we go to the multipurpose hall and all our invitees, college invitees. Thank you very much. Now, college anthem. Shall we all rise for the college anthem? National anthem. Please, we shall all remain standing as we process in the reverse order. The President and the Ministerial first, followed by the principal officers, and then our past presidents, VCs, colleges, and then the chairman governing board, the governing board of the college. Thank you very much.